Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to have a subscriber requested video and I'm going to be using Curtis Blaydes. This was requested by DJ in HD on my best of 3 video versus JMMA, which if you haven't checked out, please do. It is one of probably the bigger content creators that I'm going to be collabing with. It was very fun. Shout out to JMMA for letting me get those that best of 3 in. We have been doing a bit more content with other content creators, and like I said, if you do have any content suggestions, please let me know in the comments below and I will get around to recording it. It may take a week or two before it comes out, just because I have a certain schedule of videos to go live, so I try to fit these in. And as you can see, my subscriber requested to use Curtis Blaydes. That's exactly what we're going to do here now. Using Curtis is no secret to what you're going to want to do. You're going to need to grapple and just, be nasty with the ground and pound. Maybe even look for a submission finish if it is there. We're coming up against a Stipe Miocic, which, it's a hard matchup. Stipe's got the better of the stand-up. When you think about boxing, Stipe's definitely got a huge advantage. Wrestling offensively, Blaydes is a lot better. Defensively, of course, Miocic is going to be better. He's going to be extremely hard to keep down. And just got overall very good chin health. But as you can see, I'm progressing. I'm looking to control my opponent here. I'm not really looking to get my opponent out there as quick as possible. It did take me a couple tries to record this video, just because a lot of people keep rage quitting, which is incredibly frustrating. It's an issue that I come up against often. Or just the gameplay overall wasn't good enough or against a high level opponent, where this opponent here was fairly good. Was doing good jobs of just overall surviving. As you can see, we take my opponents back here, and this is a terrible position to be in with Curtis Blaydes. Of course, Blaydes is just phenomenal on the ground. You're going to really want to look to outwork your opponent. Throw a lot of ground and pound, which is something that I often do. As you see, I'm being very selective because I don't want to get reversed, which is very easy when you're against high level fighters. Obviously coming up against Stipe, he's got good reversals. If he does reverse and change the position, I could be in serious damage. And I think there is an instance of that in this gameplay that I'm going to showcase to you here, in which I get a bit too comfortable. I think he reverses the position and does a good amount of damage. So, like I said, I'm trying to be patient, really pick and choose when to throw ground and pound. It's a shame we don't have elbows off the ground, which again still makes absolutely no sense. Is something that's used heavily in UFC 3, of course. The elbows were vicious, and when you're using Curtis Blaydes, I mean, after what he done to Alistair Overeem, he literally sliced his face in half. It was just beautiful with what he was doing on the ground. And I do think he's extremely underrated. I think the next move for him will probably be fight Gane, after he's now lost to Ngannou. And that will be a real test for both fighters. Obviously, we know with Blaydes is that when he shoots those takedowns, he doesn't leave his head in a great position. He does often get caught, as you saw with the Derrick Lewis fight. And he has fallen short to, Derrick Lewis, to Ngannou twice. But again, he's just so good, and he really could be the champion. Obviously, now with Jon Jones coming into the division, it's very interesting. And, we've got to see how everything plays out. But if he gets a good win over Gane, if that matchup does happen, then we could see Blaydes really push for that title shot. And one thing that you'll see I am trying to do on the feet is working those leg kicks. And the other reason I'm doing this is because obviously Blaydes isn't going to have the best leg kicks, but if you did watch the Derrick Lewis fight, in which he obviously got knocked out cold, he was using leg kicks a lot to obviously try annoy Derrick Lewis and limit his movement, really take out that lead leg. So that's something I was trying to implement here when we are on the feet. Obviously, when you're on the feet, Blaydes does have a lot of power. You can really feel that in his punches. However, he's extremely slow. Doesn't have the best combinations. So the longer you are on the feet, the higher the likelihood is you're probably going to lose the fight. If you're coming up against someone like Stipe Miocic, Jon Jones, Daniel Cormier, Francis Ngannou, Derrick Lewis, Volkov, basically anyone in the top 10 that has really good stand-up, you really need to be getting this fight onto the ground as quick as possible and looking to control your opponent, the posture up, lay down some good ground and pound, and then look to build off of that. Like I said, I wasn't really going to look to try and get a submission finish with Curtis Blaydes unless the opportunity really presents itself. but just because of how good his top game is and how easy it is to control opponents once you get a couple deniers, even though his submissions aren't the greatest, you can still pull them off. And as you can see, we get my opponent into the crucifix here, and I'm being very patient, waiting for my opponent to move first. Somehow I don't get the denier, but you know, we're still in a very good position here, so I've just got to be patient. I can work my way back into the crucifix if need be, but right now we're doing a significant amount of damage. As you can see, denied him going that direction twice. He was trying to get into the sprawl. We get back into the crucifix, and we have just under 2 minutes to work with, so we've got a good enough time to inflict some damage. Now we're starting to build up this momentum, starting to do a lot of damage, and these elbows are going to be shredding away at my opponent's head health, which is good because if we get back onto the feet, we'll be in a prime position to end up finishing my opponent. As you can see, he tried to get the finish here. He does a good job blocking and then swaying his head. I lose all my stamina there. I look up, there's not much time left on the clock, and I go for a submission finish here. So I go for my favourite submission, which is the Kimura, which then transitions into an armbar. Like I said, Curtis Blaydes doesn't have the best submissions, but that being said, if your opponent's stamina is low enough and your stamina is high enough, then maybe you'll be able to get your opponent out of it. And unfortunately, as you can see, we don't get my opponent out of there with the armbar. But, you know, it was a very good round nonetheless. And as you can see, he postures up here. I think he does a good amount of damage. Yeah, he does a good amount of damage there. But, you know, it's still going to be my round. Still very controlling round. And coming into round 3, we're just going to build off of this round. Especially round 2, because obviously round 1 we had success. But round 2, as you can see, we really hurt my opponent. He comes out there, tries to front kick me straight away. Throw some good combinations, back away, go for a turning takedown in which he denies. That was a good job from my opponent. And then he takes me down, but I get the denier. So instantly round 3, we've both gone for takedown attempts and both denied each other. I'm trying to be patient because I know my opponent's head health won't be in the greatest position just because the ground and pound earlier in which we land a lot of elbows. And we had good control time as well. My opponent really doesn't want this fight to go to the ground. I'm staying in the range here with Stipe, which isn't something I'd recommend. I don't know if that was a hook or an elbow, but we catch my opponent, as you can see, and then he throws the double elbows just to try a block break because he's frustrated, goes for the same thing again. Clinch up, go to the body. I'm just being patient here. I don't want to rush in because if I rush in and get clipped, as I get hit with a massive overhand there, it could ruin all the work that I've done in the rounds prior to get to this moment. So we clinch, we baited him in, so my back was towards the fence. We sucked him in, get the clinch, reverse it, push him towards the fence, and now we take my opponent's back here, and my opponent's exactly where he doesn't want to be. And this is what you've got to do with Blaydes, especially when you want to grapple. If you can't get those takedowns in the open, bait your opponents, come towards you when you're towards the fence, circle away from them or clinch, and then just drag them down. And then once they are down, you've just got to control, and of course look to do some damage, because damage is what wins you the fight. You can have all the control time in the world. If you haven't done enough significant strikes, your opponent will end up winning via decision if they've had more significant strikes. So we're getting back into the same positions that we was finding ourselves in round 3, in which we're getting into the crucifix, then the side saddle, and we're doing a good job of denying here. As you can see, land vicious elbows there. Pause just in time for him to try and move. Get back into the crucifix, and we've got about a minute and 36 to work with here. Being very patient, trying to see if I can get him out of here just through the elbows. But as you can see, he's really trying to get out. He's doing a good job. Start spamming these elbows here, posture up. And I didn't look for the finish just because of what happened last time. So last time, obviously, he managed to get out of it. I then postured up. And then instead of looking to get the strikes to get him out of there, I advanced to top mount, which I thought was the smart thing to do. And as you can see, we ended up coming away with the victory there. So that's some Curtis Blaydes gameplay for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Any content suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like. And if you are new around here, subscribe for more UFC content. Quick thing, I just want to say a huge thank you to all my subscribers. At the time of recording this, I've just hit 150 subs. So we're growing at a good rate. And yeah, so I just want to say I appreciate you all. Thank you very much, and see you next time.